Oh, who do we have here? Is Teddy?
Teddy, yes.
Teddy. Oh. You're so different but good for your roommate. Sorry. They came in the late afternoon yesterday, so I've been up in the evening getting everybody kind of settled in. It's a good crowd though, so it should be fun. Oh, hi. So what we'll do is just kind of briefly go over the things that you're having issues on / want to work with Teddy, and then I'll kind of do an initial social evaluation with a couple of the other pups just to test his temperament and see how apprehensive or nervous or anything that he is.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll start whenever you're ready. So what's kind of your main priority?
So with him, he's typical puppy behavior. He does sometimes bite a little, like, and nip, chewing on stuff. He's teething right now, so that's probably what's driving that a lot. So it's just, obviously he doesn't really know how to walk on a leash.
Right.
So learning how to do that. He doesn't necessarily pull right now, but he's going to be a big dog, so we want to be ready for that.
He seems.
And then my husband mentioned this morning that he's concerned about, he does a lot of demand barking, so like if you're making his food, he's going to start barking at you. And I forgot his slow feeder bowl, so...
No problem. I think I have an extra one. If not, there's the pet store. I can grab one.
I could have one delivered to your house.
That's fine too.
But he does do a lot of demand barking, especially with our other dog too, who is a smaller, but he'll want to play with her, so he'll just start barking in her face, just trying to get her to play.
Yeah. It's pretty natural. What we can do to help to offset it too, depending on his temperament and what he naturally does, is I've taught pups before to like either touch, right, as opposed to barking.
So he knows.
The only problem with that is that could also be really annoying,
Yeah, well,
right? If he's like constantly pawing at you,
he knows, like,
especially if he's
gonna
get bigger.
Like touch, like he knows that's like that command.
There you go. Yeah. So that could be a good transition, but you said something that you'd also have to just be aware of, because if he wants attention, then he's gonna try to communicate it in some way, right?
I think we'd be okay with him playing if he were to do touch.
We'll try to keep that as a constant then, and then a lot of it too is just building his own like patience.
Yeah.
And that takes time for younger, well, sometimes older people too, but
he's very excitable.
Yeah. So okay, we can definitely we can work on that.
He jumps on the counter a little bit, so we're working on like that. We say manners to get him like 4 paws on the floor.
Okay.
But we also are working like the implied leave it, so he's sort of making the choice.
That's one thing that we usually practice a lot with puppies anyway, so I'm not too surprised, and we'll definitely get in a lot of good practice with that. Something to do you guys have children at home?
We do. We have a 10-year-old son and a house full of kids typically every week because they bring us the neighborhood.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing that I find that's usually I wouldn't say a difficulty, but something to be aware of with families is sometimes it's easier to kind of work on both ends. Also having like your children and sometimes ourselves be disciplined to not just leave food up on the counter as an enticement.
We're working on that.
Yeah. We'll try to work on his end, and then you guys just work kind of more on your end.
Well, he's convinced that there's things up there that just aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
sometimes what'll happen is even if something is up there one time,
Mm-hmm.
that memory of
Yeah.
like checking it.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
found a cup of food that I've been using as like treats, like just randomly like whatever he had done well. I was like using it to reward him, and he got up there and grabbed it.
So we'll try to deprogram it, and we'll see how he does when we reintroduce him back to your
Okay.
place. Because sometimes you'll still need to do some correction work because he's already built up habits there.
Okay.
Right? Especially,
that makes sense.
yeah. Because here will be like,
All new environment.
yeah, and we'll be kind of prompting it, right?
Mhm.
It'll be more like exercises here, whereas before, especially if he's already kind of made a little bit of a bad habit, he'll
Yeah.
still need either that redirection or correction back at what he was familiar with.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be too bad. We've had to just see that before with his it wasn't Cosmo, it was his sister Kuma, a boarding puppy we had just for like counter surfing too, and so she would be really good, but her parents would still have to, like, as soon as she gets back home,
Mm-hmm.
watch her and be ready to correct her too, so that way like that standard gets
Yeah.
carried over.
Yeah.
Luckily he's still young, and so it probably hasn't been like as much of an engraved behavior as other things could be, right?
Yeah. See, he's
So.
nervous. He's like, he does this, like,
Oh, good boy, good potty.
very nervous.
How's his potty training coming along?
So,
That was good.
he hasn't had any accidents in the house since we got him over whatever his GI issue was. So
nice.
we don't really know because he never tested positive for anything, but he went through 2 different rounds of antibiotics. And after the second one, which they said would have been more of like
Giardia?
after that he's been great. So
I only asked because he's younger and everything, but that's good to hear. The other boarding mate that we haven't had any, or the parents hadn't had any issue with, for some reason, I took everybody out this morning, and everybody else went, but they didn't, and then they went inside, and the parents like, oh, that's a first. I'm like, oh, like,
yeah.
so it might just be nerves or a
might
new
be.
environment or something too, but
We had that a couple of times with him when we first got him, where like we would take him outside and he would do a lot of sniffing and then not do anything. We'd bring him back in and then he'd immediately go.
right.
But he hasn't done that for I think a month. So.
Well, he'll have plenty of opportunities to go outside too, so it should be okay, and I'll keep an eye on him. Just wanted to know if that was a priority too or not.
Yeah, I think he's got it. I mean, as long as you put him in a crate, if you're not there, then he should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, he'll either be in a crate or a playpen area,
Okay.
so that should be good.
We have like our kitchen family room area. It's where he kind of hangs out during the day when I'm working in the office upstairs, and he's been fine.
Gotcha.
No accidents. But I am home. I don't know.
No, like you said, he'll be out and about a lot anyways, so you should have plenty of opportunities, and then even before and then after leaving him, he'll be taken out. So more often than not, they go out more here than at a normal house anyways, so he should be fine. His harness is definitely a little loose.
Yeah. So I had a smaller one and it broke at the
Strong guy.
No, it wasn't that. It was like the clip got stuck in it.
It's weird.
And it was like defective. So I went out and bought another one, and for some reason this one is way too loose.
Yeah, it's fine. We can I'll adjust it for him, and he'll grow into it eventually too anyways, but I think
He sometimes wears his little sister. Like she's older, but she's a small dog, so I sometimes put him in that one. So I haven't really worried about this one as much.
I got you. Well, the fact that you don't worry about it is good. It means she's probably not too much of a flight risk. He seems pretty.
So, if the word, like his word that will make him kind of come is if you say "cook," because he thinks that he'll get like a treat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Usually at this age too, they still have that maternal bond, and so they want to kind of stick near us, unless of course you get super distracted or excited towards other things. Um, Actually, let's go ahead and test that. I'll let you go ahead and start walking away. We'll see if he A notices, and then B what he does. There it goes. Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the real test is, let's go this way towards the grass and see how well it does through some distractions. Because what ends up happening, mostly with puppies, and sometimes with like really scent-driven pups, is they just get so distracted that they don't even notice until it's
That's
too
our
late.
rescue. She
Right.
is scent driven.
So what we'll do is
Bad on a leash. He just also isn't great. Like, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's not pulling you, but I think if he were bigger, he would.
maybe right now he's checking in a lot more than other pups, like, and that's a good habit to kind of maintain, right? Because it's usually when they get something on their nose and they start tracking and they lose track of where you are, and then they
Okay.
run out of leash, right? That's what happens. So let's see here. So we'll just stay here. Good boy. Yeah, no, we're still in the green territory of what just kind of positively reinforcing what he's naturally doing.
Okay.
And all that is just like when
I think he's gonna
he nice. When he checks in, we reward that. And so that's something that a lot of parents will kind of not think about sometimes when it comes to training.
Turns around and looks at me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And that way we can kind of continue developing good habits, right? 'Cause a lot of times when we think of training, we think of like us giving a command and then him executing.
Yeah.
Whereas training can a lot of times, especially when it comes to puppies, just marking certain behaviors, making them stand out, and then making them a positive experience in his head.
Okay.
Because he's really at that young age where we can still shape things naturally. Most of the time what ends up happening is we're not there, or we're not supervising, or we're not, paying attention at proper times, and it just happens naturally, and so they end up kind of developing bad habits because people aren't there to like shape the good ones, and they just kind of, it just kind of happens naturally, right? So here with like eating the grass and stuff.
He eats the grass and he will dig.
Right.
Time in it.
And that's one of those things, especially in a yard where, do you guys have a fenced-in yard?
We do not.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a yard, but it's not fenced.
Well, that's good. It's good and bad, because a lot of times with like fenced-in yards, everybody kind of gets a little complacent and just like kind of lets their pup out, right?
He will get walked once he's like ready. He'll walk.
He's
a long
definitely
walk every day.
he's definitely at that age where you still want to supervise him out so he doesn't learn to like dig. And then eating the grass, it's kind of depends on the puppy. Could be like a pretty natural thing. It's not always doesn't always have something to do with their digestive system, but either way, it'd be another good opportunity to practice leave it too, anyways, right? So being there to kind of interrupt and redirect,
Yeah.
as opposed to letting him kind of eat and stuff. Teddy, good job. A little slow to respond, but at least he did. Well,
Yeah.
what we'll do is the next time he gets distracted, I'll let you call his name once
Okay.
to see if it's just more familiar because it's like your sound as opposed to somebody new. And then also, it's funny, I had parents before, they either make a certain sound or go ahead.
Teddy?
Good job. Oh, that's interesting too, right? So
He knows what's coming.
right, but he went this way as
Yeah,
opposed
'cause
to
he
your
usually had the
way,
treats.
right? Okay, that's fine. That's funny. Okay.
He is food motivated and like,
That's good. Usually
yeah.
Goldens are and play. I find like sticks and stuff work well with this kind of breed too. But what was I saying? Oh, so I just test that because sometimes it's funny. People don't even know that they're doing it. But when like parents sometimes try to get their dog's attention, they'll either make sounds
Yeah.
or they'll call them.
I do it.
They'll call them by a nickname. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
what ends up happening is like they learn that better than their actual name, and then
yeah.
I try to use their actual name, and it's like, oh, that didn't work. So just running those through. What sounds do you usually use to get his attention?
If I'm
I
trying,
think you said something earlier.
I will do like, or,
A little bit,
yeah, cook. See that will get his attention.
right? And so that's something to note too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's good and bad because trying to remember to use that,
Yeah.
right, in place of his recall, I might need to either text myself or put that in the email, and or like I said, kind of train it in combination with his actual name. um, is it just natural to you, or is that something like a nickname for your family?
So it's short for cookie, and so like whenever I would give him a cookie, I would just, yes, cook. Because the trainer I've been watching online does it, so I just like repeating it. It's not even a word that we would normally say. We would say like
Go ahead
treat
and
or cookie.
Go ahead and call him out.
Teddy.
There you go. Oh.
He knows I don't have anything, so he's like, I would rather smell this grass.
Right.
You have no value to me. Teddy.
Oh, good boy. There you go. Something like, okay. So like, good boy. Good boy. So just testing his response to the leash pressure. Yes, good boy. See if he's adverse to it. See, this is usually what ends up happening, right? If they, if they're not conditioned to responding to leash pressure, naturally they're gonna resist it, and so that ends up in like that kind of tug of war action when you're like trying to get him to go your way, and then he feels it and it's awkward, and then he tries to resist it, which is natural because if you think about it, and we've never been leashed before, right? As soon as you exit your home, and then something's tugging you back, what's your first instinct to do? Try to get against it.
Get my balance back.
Right. You're trying to like, you're like, why can't I keep going forward? And so with him, we have to actually teach him that he can't go forward because of the leash, because he's going a different way than we are. So teaching him leash pressure and how to respond to it appropriately definitely seems to be a thing. And that's, like I said, it's pretty normal with his age, and something you will want to get ahead of before he gets too much bigger and just starts pulling against you.
This is something I've never been able to train well with my dogs. He's my third, so, and first was a Labrador, so like pure energy, pulling on the leash, leash. It was the hardest thing to get him to learn how to walk on a leash.
Gotcha.
And then I just like he was walking me for the rest of the time I had him. Like, I just never could.
Let's see what you usually do to either teach or correct the behavior, and I can get an idea of what's going on.
To me, he's the easiest one I've had so far because he's just kind of.
He checks in.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it, is like how much focus that he has on us, either momentarily or at least when he feels the pressure.
I'm also like pretty patient with the sniffing. It's come with time. When I had my lab, I was not as patient, but because my rescue is so scent driven, I just have learned to let her have that on the walk.
Oh, good boy. So when he starts going one way, go ahead and start going another way and see what happens. Yeah, sure.
It's just coming after me when I move, so it's,
yeah,
I tell you, he's
perfect.
my easier one.
I kind of wonder how much of it is you being now conditioned to letting him walk you because of your other dogs, right? Teddy. Good. Come. Okay.
He does not know come at all, so that's...
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good job. Oh. Yes. He's just going back to whatever it was that he wanted to, right? Hmm.
This is where we get stuck.
Yeah. He's got something in his mouth again. He's got... So let's see. Need I don't have any sticks around here. Oh, kind of. There we go. He's too distracted with the treat now.
Yeah. Too food driven.
Good. Look, I don't have anything. What's that? Okay. Okay. There we go. Good. Alright, so we'll let him chew that up for a bit. Teddy. Yes. Good. It's going to be the base of Leave It, right? Is getting his attention when he has something. So again, Teddy.
Leave it.
Yes. Good. There you go. And then we add recall, so that way he drops something naturally when he thinks he's going to get something else.
Okay.
So a big part of it for you during walks and stuff, especially in the beginning, is having treats available, so that way you have something to barter with. And then moving him away from, good job, there you go, very good, good job.
He checked in for his treat.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. he's a smart pup. So it's, like I said, it's just
Yeah.
about kind of developing and maintaining those good habits. And sometimes, especially like I said in the beginning,
I see
you're gonna
It's happening.
we're gonna need to kind of set you up for success. And a big part of that with puppies is being prepared and having tools, like either always having a treat pouch or
Yeah.
always having a small toy or something like that. So that way we have something to barter with. Because if we naturally try to pull something out of his mouth, again with like the leash,
Yeah.
it makes him want to bite down harder and not give it up. Whereas if we
Yeah.
offer him something, he's like, bah. Right? Let me get this out of my mouth so I can get this. And then eventually what we do is we just make the same motion as if we have something. We combine it with right? We combine it with leave it, right?
Yeah.
And then, Teddy, leave it. Good job. And then we reward. It's something too that you have to transition out of. Luckily it's pretty easy to do so long as you're maintaining the same kind of motions and command. So a lot of times parents will get stuck when they don't have a treat or something, because now it's like, now he's like, oh well, she doesn't have anything, why would I listen? And it's because we get them to listen first, execute, and then we reward, as opposed to always having something first. It's good in the beginning, especially with puppies, and like we lure them and things like that, but eventually you need to like get off of that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm having trouble with some of the mechanics there, just like getting the timing right.
At least it looks like it's just something that we can build good habits out of for him, and then we just teach you guys.
Yeah.
Will you be in town during the training? Are you guys gonna go on vacation?
So we're gonna be on vacation, but we get back the 19th.
Okay.
So we have off those days and can come down to do a session with him.
That'll be good. I'll have videos and stuff for you guys to hopefully be able to follow through if you have internet access.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's always easier, especially with puppies, as opposed to having to offload all of the information at like the very end. Usually it's just too much and too long for the dog. So if that's the case too, what we could do is just break things down into like follow-up sessions with the most important things, and then things like counter surfing back at home, because the board and train is really good because it gives like us the opportunity to get in those good habits and to undo bad habits and get some good practice in, because we'll get the most practice out of anything else. But it wouldn't do any good if like you weren't sure of how to maintain those habits, and or like I said, like somebody coming out of AA rehabilitation and then their roommate forgets to not have beer in the fridge. You know,
I mean, honestly, he's incredibly smart. I'm not worried about him being able to learn. I'm worried about me being able to maintain it and do it correctly when I get him back. So that he's incredibly smart. He will pick up on the things you teach him. So it's more my piece that I'm worried about long term.
No problem. We'll make sure to work with you guys so that way the transition is easy too.
And we should have internet access. We will be on a cruise ship, but we have Wi-Fi on the cruise supposedly. It's in Alaska, so we'll see how good it is, but it's supposed to be available. So.
I'm sure it'll be expensive.
Well, we pay for it in advance. So
oh, okay.
we're getting the Wi-Fi package. Mostly so my son can watch anime.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Addiction in our house. So.
That's awesome. I have a girlfriend that loves anime, so.
Oh, that's like talking your ear off.
Oh, I'm sure they could. I don't follow it enough outside of like the main ones. You used to watch like. You don't watch it with him?
You know, I've tried, and it's not my thing.
That's understandable. What's always good though is there's lots of different kinds of anime that you might find to like with him.
Yeah.
Hi. That's cool though. Was there anything else that you wanted to kind of go over or have any questions that needed to showcase with me?
No, I think this has been everything. I'm interested to see how he does with meeting the other dogs, because that's not something he's had a lot of experience with.
No problem. We'll start him off easy, and then we'll kind of build up with difficulty slash see if we can trigger his nervousness or anything
Okay.
like that. Luckily, I have all really good roommates for him, so it should be just fine. Where are you going? This is Duchess. She's gonna be the most, but she's she's also the friendliest and bravest pup. She also does a good job of submitting to when a when somebody bigger is approaching her. Yeah. What do you think, bud? Oh, what do you think? So you can kind of tell he's body language wise definitely a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Wants to play, which is good.
Yeah.
Right now, when she's not applying so much pressure, he's able to reciprocate. I think he's still just kind of figuring her out.
Yeah.
What do you think, big guy? You know, she's a lot, huh?
How old is she?
I think 2?
Yeah. Okay.
Under 2, if not. She's still really young.
She's got a lot of energy.
Yeah. Even as far as puppies go, she's the one that runs circles out of everybody.
He's like,
It's like, oh my gosh. It's good though. It's natural, right? He's not too thrown off even by her intensity, right? He's a little bit unsure. He's not guarding mom too, so that's good. It means that he doesn't deem her as a threat in any way. Duchess, come. Good girl. So that's a big part of the training too, is just no matter how excited they are, being able to hear and listen when necessary. It's a trait that has,
like immediately different dogs.
yeah, you know, and it takes a lot of practice, especially for someone like her. I think it'll be easier for him. Yeah.
She's like,
I think it won't take him too long to get adjusted and warm up to everybody. I think initially he might be overwhelmed, but that's why this will be good for him, because he'll get to at least meet a few of the pups beforehand, instead of like when you go to a dog park with a new dog, especially a puppy. You never want to go like during the rush, because what ends up happening is everybody gets excited. New dogs coming in, they rush the gate, right? And so that could be very overwhelming even for well socialized dogs. And so we usually do, luckily I know the dog park really well, regulars there and everybody, but going when it's still kind of the off time, getting him situated with the environment, and then that way he can kind of meet dogs one at a time as they come in.
don't go away. Don't go away.
So either the slow introduction, or kind of going to the dog park as after peak time, when you know everybody's kind of tired and everybody's now starting to leave
Smart.
too.
Smart, yeah. All the dogs have
They're-
less energy.
They're a lot more calm, and the situation is still getting easier for him. It might be overwhelming at first,
Yeah.
but it tapers off. So that's something that we can do for him as well, to see how he does. Luckily, he's not showing any kind of signs of fear or anxiety. It's just kind of a little bit of apprehension. Right? He's also not as playful, right? He's disengaging a lot.
He is.
So let me try the next pup, and
Okay.
we'll see how.
You're a cutie.
Good girl. Yeah, so judging by his demeanor the past couple pups, even friendly and small, even with lower energy, he's still a little bit more reserved.
Yeah.
So like if he went to a dog park and they like rushed the gate, it would probably make him really scared. But at least like if given the opportunity for him to approach in, he might. Actually, let's do that. I'm gonna actually have her over here, and we'll see how long it takes for him to just come to her. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and let him.
You want to go? I think I messed it up.
Right, there you go. Hold on, sugar. So we'll let him engage. Oh, I might need a... Oh, no, you're just peeing. Good girl, wait. Yeah, very interesting.
That exposure.
Yeah. Usually they'd be more playful.
He's incredibly playful with our other dogs. He just hasn't been exposed to
Yeah. At least he's warming up, which will be good. I'll be interested to see how long it takes for him to get comfortable, especially in a new situation surrounded by other dogs, right? So the next pup, we'll see if he gets scared by them. He's still Blue is still very friendly. He's just a little bit more like jagged per se, like social wise. His demeanor and everything throws off even some people, and then he also requests space a lot of times too. I don't think he's gonna push him to any to any extreme. Because it would actually be good to see how he reacts to corrections. I don't think he's gonna have a problem, but it's better that we figure that out now while you're here, so you can see, as opposed to being surprised by it later on when like walking down the street and meeting a pup. Because what'll end up happening with especially shyer dogs a lot of times is they get startled and then they overreact back, right? Or they don't have the social skills to decipher between a correction and aggressive move, and then they get defensive back, and then you're kind of toilet bowling around because now you have two dogs that are like that. I don't think that's the case, but I'd rather know for sure. And we'll just see how he does when he's kind of, pushed a little bit more. Right now he's doing good. Definitely very neutral and cautious though, which is fine. Here you go. It wasn't quite as intense as I was hoping. It's fine. We'll
You feel like I'm working with him, so he's like, doing what you told me.
There. Good boy. Oh. Good boy.
He does seem interested in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're all very friendly. They're just their initial greeting was going to be different. I didn't expect him to be so neutral passive here. Huh. Good boy. It's okay. I'm excited. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I know. Hey. Wait. Good boy. I know. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I know. You're a good boy. Easy. Easy. Shh. I know. Easy. Right. And this is where, like, you get a lot of mixed signals because he is having a hard time reading them because he's already naturally kind of overwhelmed, right? So, like, even though he's, like, growling and trying to get to him and lunging and barking, he's actually doing it, if you read his body, and I know his personality, right, it's because he wants, yeah. I know, good boy. Now we'll see if he'll come to him since he's just laying there now. He's like, I don't know. Oh, it's okay, bud. Oh. Here, I'm gonna try to take him from you and go for a walk. Yep, good boy. Get down. It's okay. It's okay. And this is where something else, like another reason why you'd want his harness to fit like properly is if he does get spooked, right? He can back out of it, and you don't want him doing that in like traffic or in like when we're downtown or something like that, right? Because his first instinct is to go away from whatever it is that's scaring him, and so if his harness, enables him to back out, that could be dangerous. So that's something to note. Like I said, we're going to tighten it up anyways before we go out. And here we're pretty safe. Good boy. There you go. That was good though. That's something that sometimes I have to teach pups, but that's really good that he still does that naturally to you, is go back to somebody he finds safe and comfortable. Because like I said, most of the time when they get overwhelmed, they just go opposite way of whatever's startling them. What we want them to do, especially if it's a skittish pup, is to come closer into us. It's good that he did it though, so. Good boy, Bruno. It's okay. I know, bud. He's a lot. his other roommate, like I said, it was a long night for me because he kept trying to like play with the other one, and the other one was overwhelmed too. They're okay now, but I have a feeling that's what we're gonna be spending the vast majority of the time doing today, is getting him just kind of comfortable with the little ones and teaching him to calm himself down, which is fine. It's good practice for him anyways. Bruno. Hey, Bruno, come. Good boy. Aww. Okay, so not too bad, but definitely there's a little bit of that fight and flight response. it's better that it's flight, but that's something to definitely take note of. Yeah. Okay. Good boy, Bruno. Good. Good boy.
Let's see you smiling.
Okay. Now, very slowly reach towards him like you're gonna pet him, but probably like
Want me to
pretend
go overhead or
like how naturally people will do it, but just go really slow and stop.
No, no,
Right?
not doing it.
No, that's fine. All right. So,
Okay.
so once again, so now I'll help set him up for it. Right. So, Bruno, easy. Sit. Good boy. Sit. No. Good boy. Okay. Now go ahead and do it again, but just start from far.
Okay.
Down.
Can I pet you?
No.
Nope. No,
It's
that's
okay.
fine.
Good boy.
You'll get there.
It's okay.
You'll get there.
Good boy. It's okay. And
Yeah,
now,
I trained him for like pets, people coming in.
Yeah.
Very early on, because I knew all the kids would do that.
all right. And then the last bit here. Let me see your hand.
My hand?
Yep. Good. Build a positive bridge. Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard one, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Some things are. This is gonna be his boarding mate, Aspen. He just got here yesterday and will leave one day before him, so they'll be spending the most time together. Good boy. Aspen, hey. Aspen. Aspen, hey. Yeah, you can always tell when I've worked with a pup and haven't yet. Good boy, hold on. I'll see if he moves towards him or not at first. Tails down. Not interested at all.
I'm really tired, I think.
Yeah.
It's out of energy.
It's so funny because sometimes puppies seem like they have endless energy, and then as soon as you actually like start working with them, like I said, most of them, especially in this heat, will do like half-hour sessions instead of full-hour sessions, and just give them more breaks and just do it more often, work inside, things like that. Usually we're not going to be out here midday. We'll be like,
I had to pull him out.
he's going to be ready for a puppy nap for sure. But we'll usually work a lot more outside in the early mornings and later evenings, and then we'll be like in either inside practice drills or in stores
Okay.
during the midday for AC and stuff. But he's doing well like a trooper. What do you think, bud? Come on. There you go. There you go. Very good. Aww. What do you think, Aspen?
Female, I don't mean to like.
Aspen? Yeah.
Aspen, okay.
Yeah. Good girl.
Can I pet her?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a beautiful girl. How old is she?
10 months, they think. She's a rescue, so.
10 months? You're giant.
He's gonna be that big
like
soon
German
too.
Shepherd, right?
Like some sort of shepherd mix, and then something else too. I have to double check the email because I'm sure people will ask.
the spots down here.
Right.
She's a real big.
That's gonna be you soon, bud. There you go. Oh, not too bad. Yeah, I think our only problem pup will be Mr. Bruno, but he means well. Let's just say
When
that.
he's not tired, I think they'll get along great.
Yeah, I think everybody will be just fine. He just needs to definitely get comfortable in new situations, and then hopefully build some confidence.
I'm gonna go back to the car.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any questions or anything else before I cancel this out?